So it turns out my microphone is still working. If you guys don't remember, a lot of videos ago, I dropped the GoPro in the junkyard, ran it over with the wheelbarrow with the microphone in the rain, and the microphone didn't work for a while. Now it's been sitting on the shelf for a couple months now. Decided to plug it in and see if it works, and it works. So if you guys don't know, from the last video, my camera went in for repair, and I had to do it because the screen was busted. And you guys gotta understand, I do a lot in my video, a lot of recording, trying to show you guys some of the labor side of things, and I just fumble the camera sometimes, so it takes a beating, you know what I mean? I take it everywhere, the junkyard, I take it to the track, I take it to the meets. When you're doing the type of stuff that I do, no camera is safe. It's one of the reasons why I didn't get a DSLR, because that would probably break as soon as I walk out of the store. But today I want to work on the CRX some more. As you guys noticed, I did say that I wanted to clear everything off this table, and everything on that table was supposed to go in here, and obviously the table is gone. The last bits and pieces that I need for the car is in this box right here, which is the coil pack that I'm going to be doing in a different video. But I do have my stock distributor installed as mentioned, and I just want to get the car fired over with that before we do the coil pack, so we don't have any electrical issues that may surface and put me at a standstill. Now, as you guys see right here, the intercooler is on there. This is the Speed Factory Mustang EcoBoost intercooler, and I got this from Joe for $100 because he got this from his last job, and the guy was like, okay, we'll take $100 for it. So Joe brought it to me. Wouldn't work on his car, figured it'll suit my car best. And from the last update, we got the end tanks modified because it was super short. It was coming from the backside here and protruding into my radiator, so I got that modified there, and also on this end over here. Now under the hood, guys, I apologize for not showing a lot of this, but it's practically done. Got the turbo stuff installed, got the lines, got the new dump tube remade because this originally came out this way and came out in front of the compressor housing, which got super hot, so I rerouted it this way. And thank you to Danny for this gold tape right here. I've been meaning to buy some. He had some left over, so he hooked it up with that. All the charge pipe is connected, all vacuum lines are connected. Paco, thank you for the catch can. Got this working, made that bracket last night, so that's secured into place. And the only thing I need to change out still is the injectors, but we're going to try to fire it over with these 450s before we put in the ID 2000s. And the one main thing that I still need to buy is this guy right here. That goes to the idle air control valve, and we're ready to put the coolant in. So in this video, I may try to get this car to turn on. One of my buddies coming over right now with his S300. His car is out of commission, so I have my cousin building me a map right now, and then we're gonna use my buddy's ECU to try to turn on the car, bleed the cooling system, make sure everything works, make sure nothing is leaking, and then we can get this car back on the ground. But if we don't get to that, guys, I do have another project I do want to tackle, and that involves this headlight right here. Thank you to Bobby. Bobby came through with this. He only had one side, just so happened to be the perfect side, because if I use this on the wagon, it's K-swap, so I can just do boom, velocity stack to the turbo, or I can use this for the CRX, cut a hole in the front and then modify the whole backside 3-inch all the way to the turbo. I've already got my bends kinda sorta, and use that old piping right here. I got a bunch of 90 couplers brand new in the bin over there, and pretty much make a portaway for the turbo with some fresh air. But if I decide I don't want to use the plastic headlight, I may just make it out of aluminum. Maybe I'll try to make it out of aluminum first, and if that doesn't go well, we'll cut this one up. I'm gonna have to do this for temporary, but this will work.
Yeah,
got the neighbor.
About the YouTube videos.
Neighbor came by. He's been living right here. Didn't realize that I was his neighbor.
Yeah.
He's a subscriber.
Yeah.
So I'm using cardboard. I'm tracing the sides of the headlight, and right now I'm doing the face 14 and 5/8 across, and I'm gonna cut this square out, lay it on here, get all of these curvature right, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for this side, top side, back side. And the reason why I want it to be out of aluminum is because I want to weld in a 3-inch like tube here. right? And that way I don't have to worry about trying to integrate some kind of tubing to go on back of the plastic. Instead, it's all aluminum, and it'll be short, maybe like, I don't know, an inch out. So that way I can put a 90 coupler on it. It's gonna go around. Let me show you guys real quick. So it's gonna 90 out like that, right? And then it's gonna be maybe a 45 down, and then 90 into this. This is a perfect 3-inch opening, so I have couplers and stuff for that. Timely process making this template, and I had to cut multiple times to, you know, get the shape that I need. And you can see here I added on all the undercut areas, and then I retraced it for the 3rd time. And hopefully this cutout is going to be the top piece of it. This right here is the side piece, and right here is the front piece. Also take note that the lens is curved. Right there is the reason why I have this curved right here. So we're making progress for sure. My cousin is on his way over here right now. He already has a map for my setup, and waiting for my buddy to still show up because he had to pick up his kids from school. So once he gets here, my cousin, with the map, and my buddy comes here with the ECU, maybe we'll turn the car on today and also do the headlight in one video. So crossing fingers for that, because the sooner we can get this done, the sooner we can get it on the dyno. Track is in 2 weeks, and we're on the crunch. Oh yeah, so the homie Chewy just left, and I have his ECU right here. Also from No Miss Industry, we have the Honda Rules cop system right there. And the cool thing about this is that you can disconnect that 2-wire that goes all the way over here to this pin. And when you disconnect that 2-wire right there, you can run this ECU with a stock distributor. So I'm going to do that now, get this all installed in my car. We're going to add fluids into the car as well, so that way once my cousin get here, he can just load the map up, and hopefully we can turn the car on. Now there isn't any zoom options with the GoPro, so I'm gonna try to show you guys this anyways. I've already done it. I've already pulled these wires out, but you need something really small, like a flat-headed pick, and you have to pick these top holes right here, and pretty much just slide through and then pull the wires out. It releases the wire. It's like a little clamp, I think it is. And I just did it for both of these wires. Now it is important that you electrical tape these 2 connections before, you know, putting your case back on. So I'm gonna do that now. Knock recommended me to use GTX Castro from Walmart 1030, and that's what I have in here right now. My cousin just loaded up a map to the ECU, and we got all the battery and everything hooked up. We're about to do our first start. And earlier I was priming the oil with the car off to ensure that we had oil in the system, and I think we're good there. No leaks underneath.
What map sensor?
Strong 2 3-bar.
What, 2 3 bars with you?
Man, pump is super loud. Oh. That was a backfire. Super rookie mistake. I had these 2 guys mixed up. Just swapped it over. Hopefully it turns on. That is it right there. It's been a long time coming. Let's get it. Oh my god, the full exhaust system. Super excited that this thing turned on. Right now everything sounds really good, no crazy ticking, no leakage. live, baby. We're live. So I just tightened down the TPS sensor where the old marking on a TPS sensor was set out on the stock throttle body, and simply to calibrate TPS, you go to the TPS tab.
Make sure that your lightning bolt's on.
That your data log into the ECU, or at least your map from the ECU is on here.
Hit read.
And then with your foot off the pedal, you calibrate read and see where it's reading at. So right now it is at, what is that, 1.69, right? And then pedal all the way down to ensure the throttle body is all the way open. And then you click read on the maximum reading, and S300 should calibrate that for you. Now we're gonna have to make a couple adjustments because we're at 90% throttle, so we're tinkering with that, but that's typically how you do the TPS calibration with S300. And right now I'm gonna do coolant so we can bleed it out while it warms up. Okay guys, so I just finished the template mock-up, and yeah, there's a lot of pieces. So this, I got that curvature down right here. I got that slant on the headlight like it's supposed to be when it's on the car, and I think it's looking really good. Now I didn't make a template to go all the way to this edge right here since there's really nothing back here anyways. I think this will work out just fine as long as it's not super thin on the aluminum part. It shouldn't fold too easily, but if it does, I'll just put like a triangle like gusset right here or something. But aside from that, I reshaped the back a little bit, so it is going to be coming out on this end instead of over here. So you know, the closer the better. And right now I'm going to transfer everything to aluminum, and I'm not sure if I'm going to cut it out tonight because I don't know what tool I'm going to use. Got all the templates, transferred them to the aluminum, and I'm going to do the one thing that I didn't want to do from the beginning, is use my grinder. The grinder's super loud. I don't want to show you guys that, and I'm just going to go ahead and just start cutting all of this right now while we still got some daylight. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my grinders, get some cookies, and the problem is the cookies are thick, so they're like thick ass disc, and it's going to make a ton of mess, but gotta do what I gotta do. So let's start cutting. Surprisingly, I was able to cut all the pieces out less than 30 minutes, and thanks to the eye protection and the ear protection, I just kind of went ham, although it probably was super loud. But we have all of our pieces right here, guys. I laid it out right here to let it cool down because it was hot, and I went inside to grub real quick. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up all of the edges, and then, you know, kind of put the puzzle together and see like what I need to trim to make it fit. I may tack them all in tonight. I also got to take off the headlight to ensure that when I tack it in, it's gonna sit where I want it to sit. So I'm gonna clean up real quick. Got all the pieces burred off, and I can touch this without my glove now, and not have to worry about cutting my hand. Now this front lens piece right here has to be curved. You can see this is the bottom piece, it's curved. This right here is the top piece, it's also curved, right? And the lens itself is curved. So I was looking around the garage to try to figure out how can I make this bend without putting a kink into it, and just looking at some of the resources here, I think this is what I am going to be using to bend this front piece to match the curvature of the top and bottom piece right here. So I haven't tried it yet, but I feel like it's going to work. And processes like this, you have to take it really easy. So actually, you know what? This is perfect. I'm not sure what it's pointing at, but let's see. Okay, so nice and slowly. Which way? Let's do this way. A little at a time, all the way across until you get the bend you're looking for. Barely, goddamn. You can see how far we gotta bend that. So last night I kind of got ahead of myself, and I got some of the pieces welded onto the front plate, and the top section is welded all the way across. Still probably gonna do the inside, but right now just, you know, the top section. The bottom is about a quarter way through, and it is bent into the diameter, the slant that I need to match, you know, that side, and obviously ensuring that the bottom is going to match the bumper and the top fits into the hood. So let me show you guys here really quickly. Last night I had to weld it up because I couldn't hold it up to, you know, hold it in the stationary position. So I tack, and just so happened just kept tacking, which then became this. Got ahead of myself again, guys, but I got this whole inside welded up, or at least one side of it. And what I did was the plate that I cut for this end, it was undercut, so I ended up using it on this side, and then I curved this end over here. You can see how it's curved, so that way it's directing the air into the inlet. And I got that all welded. I'm not going to do the inside, obviously I can't fit my torch in there, but you know, it's not supposed to look super pretty. It's supposed to just be functional. So it's not like anybody's going to stick their head in there and be like, that's ugly. Function over form, guys. I'm sorry guys, the GoPro is not low light compatible, so bear with me here. I just got back home like maybe 30 minutes ago. I went to go help a buddy pull out a flywheel twin disc from a block that had one of the bolts stripped out. So we went to go pull that out. So when I got back home, I made the other end right here, and now the only piece that I need left is the back, and I already have like 2 of them here. I just got to trim them to fit, right? So once I get that trim to fit, I'm just gonna weld that. I didn't show you guys any welding action because I don't want to give you guys like a seizure or something watching me just dab it out. But once I get this back piece you know, welded on, and the circle cut out for the 3-inch pipe, I'm gonna leave that for last, so that way we can get this fitted into the car and know which way we're gonna angle the tubing itself, so we can make it easier using like the couplers and stuff that we have. But once we get that welded on, I think the rest of the stuff that we're doing is just making the tabs for the mounting locations. Probably gonna have to do one over here to get that to the corner light, these 2 for the radiator support, and then once everything's all said and done, we'll cut the front section out for the air to get through, which makes all of this functional. Damn, that took some time, most definitely. Got the bottom mount made right there. I was gonna make the one over here to this guy, because I can access this without removing the bumper. This one I have to remove the bumper, but it's more stabilized this way because all the weight's over here, and if it was mounted over here, it would droop on this end. So as you can see, not the best fitment, but definitely in form of, you know, that headlight. Other than the lens, you can't really tell. So I found some intercooler weld-on bungs right here. These come with the eBay intercooler kits. I took 2 of these, aligned it here, and got those welded, or it's just tacked on both ends. A couple beads so it you know, it can stay in place. And this one is secured, this one is not. This one has to drop down about maybe 2 washers. As you can see, it's not fully bolted all the way in, but it is, you know what I mean, pretty firm into place. So yeah, the last piece to the puzzle, other than the square up in the front, is to make the hole in the back, put a 3-inch tubing, maybe about 1.5 inches from there, and then make the tube to go down to the turbo. You know what, guys, I'm gonna decide to close this video out right now. I don't want to go too deep into the night to try to show you guys progress updates, but you guys kind of get the idea, and that's pretty much what I'm gonna do as far as the cutout goes. I'm gonna leave that be to be the last decision to stick with the square or not, because I kind of want to do like, I don't know, maybe designs or something. But I found some couplers right here, one down there at the turbo, 3-inch, a 45 piece that I've used from a different car, and it just kind of seems to fall into place. So pretty much that is how it's going to look, obviously aside from the T-bolt clamps, but secured. And close the hood. Let me show you guys really quickly. Closed, still secured. Oh man, that looks freaking awesome. It's 9:30 right now. The little tabs and stuff that I'm trying to make, I'm not trying to grind, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But again, you guys get the idea of what I'm trying to do there. It looks freaking awesome. I'll definitely give you guys some pictures at the end of this video of the final form of the Headlight V stack. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm super stoked that the car finally turned on. I still got to get my ECU back so I can load my map and then get the car to the dyno next week. I have to get the car back on the ground, put some miles on it, drive it around, make sure everything is good, bring it back. We still got to do the coil pack system, so stick around for that. I got to put some miles on the motor and the current oil that's in there now before we switch to our VR1, which is still coming in the mail. And then we can continue doing the other stuff like the wideband once that comes in, the coil pack system, so stay tuned for that. Man, I feel like I can talk forever, but guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys did. So thank you guys for tuning in today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.